Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Beck Law Office Q&A. On this week's episode, I'll be answering the question, what is a mileage offset? I usually describe a mileage offset as a credit back to the manufacturer that's deducted from your lemon law settlement that credits the manufacturer for the good miles that you were able to use your car before you brought it to the dealership the first time for the problem that caused it to be a lemon. The way we calculate this is the formula that the legislature enacted back in the 70s. The first in-service visit is the numerator, and the 120,000 mile number is your denominator. Why 120,000 miles? Well, presumably at the time the lemon law was created, the manufacturer believed, or the legislature rather, believed that the 120,000 mile mark was when a car was used up. Now, we all know cars last a lot longer than that today, but the fact of the matter is that's the number we're stuck with. So you take the first time you brought it in for repairs, that mileage, and you divide it by 120,000. To give you an example, say you brought a car in at 7,500 miles for the problem that caused it to be bought back. You divide that by 120,000 miles, the denominator, and you get 0.0625, a decimal, or 6%. So if you paid $50,000 for that car, for example, you actually have a 6% deduction from that settlement that goes back to the manufacturer that they don't have to pay to credit you for those good miles. 6% of 50,000 is 3,000, so you get 3,000 less, or $47,000 for your statutory repurchase less the mileage offset. And that's how you do it. Now, there's other things that go into that number that you'll be using. In my situation, in my example, 50,000. Whether negative equity is included in that, whether your extended service contract or extended warranty is included in that amount, out-of-pocket expenses, all sorts of things like that. And those really need to be answered on a case-by-case basis. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm more than willing to look over your numbers. If you have a repurchase offer that you receive from the manufacturer on your own without a lawyer, to make sure that they're right, because sometimes they screw them up. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully that answers your question, and you now know how to calculate a mileage offset under the California Lemon Law.